Look, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there's no way I can be this confident about the result of a fight. After all, I'm not Mystic Mac. And I agree. If I was this confident, I would be making this video. I would go place a bet and win some money. However, if you listen to this video and you stay until the end, I will tell you exactly why I think Kamaru Usman will run through Leon Edwards in their third fight. Before I get started, I just want to make sure that you know I'm beyond excited for this fight. I mean, there is so much at stake here. If Usman loses to Leon twice, what does that mean for his legacy? What about Leon's extremely long win streak? I'm excited to see how Usman will recover from his loss. There are so many questions I want the answer to. But that being said, let me jump straight into the point of the video and tell you why Kamaru Usman is going to beat Leon Edwards in my opinion. So first, did you look at Alexander Volkanovski and Bobby Knuckles discuss this fight? When they were talking about why the fight is even and why Leon Edwards might win again, they were talking about, oh, we don't know how the KO affected Usman. Oh, Leon Edwards might be motivated now, Oh, he's fighting at home. Maybe that gives him an extra advantage. Will Usman hesitate because he got knocked out in the last fight? Will he do this? Will he do that? My point is, all these arguments are based on ifs. They are based on predictions of something that might happen, how the loss might affect him, how he might come back. And sure, Leon Edwards has one of the best striking abilities in the UFC, and he did manage to catch and KO Usman. But outside of that one KO, his striking didn't really help him that much in the last two fights, right? So we can't say he will definitely win just because of his striking, because we saw Usman neutralize it before. So now all the arguments are based on hypothetical scenarios. How will this guy be affected? How will that guy be affected? I'm saying let's look at how the last two fights played out. And in the last two fights, even though striking of Leon is much better, Usman managed to stay with him on the feet, not get hit, except the KO I guess, but not get hit for most of the time, utilizes wrestling, utilizes pace, and kind of dominate Leon Edwards, right? Outside of the takedown in round 1 in fight 2, and outside of the moment of the KO, it's not like Leon Edwards had any other majorly dominant moments. So if we ignore all the hypotheticals of what might happen, if we look at what actually happened, guys, I think Kamaru Usman has more than enough abilities to just go through Leon Edwards as long as he can be careful not to get caught. And it is right, Usman might get knocked out, but think about it, if the only way for Leon to win is by knockout, as I think it is, because I don't think Leon will win the decision, because Usman's wrestling at pressure, I don't think Leon submits him. So if the only thing that will grant him victory is the KO, I think it's much harder for Leon to find that KO than it is for Usman to just kind of do what Merab Dvalishvili did to Petr Yan. Just pressure, takedowns. If you take him down, just keep him down and just hold him there. And I know it might be boring for the fans, but Usman has many more paths to victory, and that's a fact. And that's the first reason why I think Kamaru Usman runs through Leon Edwards in their third fight. Now there's a second reason, and this is very important and it might be a bit controversial, and I will also make a separate video on this topic. And that is that UFC rules, UFC scoring, UFC judges favor wrestlers over strikers. I think when matchups are close, wrestlers and grapplers will always perform better on points and on judges' scorecards than strikers ever will. And it's much more easy for them to do so. So let me clarify. Let's say you want to win a round. Let's say you're a striker. What do you have to do to win a round 10-8? You have to stand on the feet for 5 minutes, constantly expose yourself to dangerous strikes, constantly be exposed to kicks, punches, elbows, takedowns, and you have to keep striking, you have to keep moving, you have to keep working for 5 minutes, and even if you beat the other guy's ass, you still probably get around 10-9. On the other hand, if you're a wrestler, what do you have to do to win the round by the same amount of points? You just have to get one takedown and hold your opponent there for 5 minutes. And look, you don't even have to deal any damage. You just have to move so you're somewhat active, maybe attempt a few submissions, and no one cares if they don't work. And your round will be scored exactly the same as the guy who worked his ass off on the feet. But listen to me, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, it's not easy to take a takedown. It's not easy to get someone on the ground, and it's not easy to control someone. I agree, it's not easy, trust me, I train too, it's not easy. However, all you need is one takedown So in any round, you can shoot for 20 of them if you want. If you manage to get one before, let's say, the midpoint of the round, and you hold your opponent down, you literally win the round while not risking receiving any damage. You don't receive getting any damage because you're in a dominant position. You don't risk getting submitted most of the time, and you can just be there, be a little bit active, and you will get scored the same way as if a striker was whooping you for 5 minutes straight, dodging all your punches, working every second, being alert every second, exposing themselves to danger, to strikes, to everything. And the round will be scored the same. And again, I'm not complaining. I love jiu-jitsu, I train jiu-jitsu myself. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, if you take an objective look at the UFC rules, if there's a striker versus strong grappler match, even if they're maybe evenly matched in terms of their other skills, I truly think that a grappler wins this match most of the time. I mean, I think that's just how it always goes. Unless the striker has a 100% takedown defense, he only has a few limited ways to victory. And I truly believe that. And this is the second reason why I think Kamaru Usman will beat Leon Edwards. And that's because he's careful now. He's been knocked out. He's not going to play around anymore. I think for him, he can just clinch. He can just clinch and clinch and clinch. Get a takedown, as I think he will. And because he's very strong, has great top control, he can just hold Leon down. Maybe land a few punches to the body, to the head. Maybe threaten some submissions. And to be honest, he can keep it there for 1 round, maybe 2 rounds, if he could just keep clinching, getting close to Leon. I think he can take most of the rounds simply using his grappling. And he just has to be careful of not getting caught and getting knocked out. But that way, I think his paths to victory are many more compared to Leon Edwards. So this is, in short, why I think Usman wins. So guys, let me know what you think. Please drop a comment below. I know this might be a controversial opinion, especially the one on UFC scoring. So I'm very curious about what you think. Also, give me some recommendations. What would you like to hear me talk about next? Feel free to let me know, and I see you guys in the next one. Peace.